Hello everybody, Happy New Year. Haven't made a video on the channel for a while and we decided that to give you how and when the things are getting easier in the journey. We talk about it here, but we also practice it and we kind of like looking at why not we can tell the people a little bit about how and when the journey of the twin flame gets better is when you practice what you learn, what you get your downloads within the journey, one of the things begins to work in there for it. RM, hi, thank you for coming here, and hello to you. And talk about within the journey as a twin flame, the things when it begins to work as I you performing it in the 3D of those energies, then all this pressure that you have, all those intensity, all this, it's kind of like evaporates. It's gone. It's just like you are going to be wondering, what is it going on? So without further ado, I'm going to give you the mic to Paulina so we can share it here. Hi, Twin Flame Power. Welcome here. And if you guys have some any questions, you guys can ask for it. So
Yeah. Hi everyone, welcome to the chat. Welcome in the new year. Um, I was just thinking that many people may comment that it gets easier once you get back with your twin. It's after separation phase, but for me, there are just several steps that the journey gets easier after certain maybe thresholds, you can name them, after some surrender that you've done on the journey. So it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to wait until your twin gets back or until you get back to, to the soul connection that you're currently separated. Because as everyone is saying, and as you remember, the journey is about yourself. It's not about other person. It's not about getting other person back. It's just about going in the journey no matter what. And I think that's one of the thresholds when I look back on my journey. One of those moments that got easier for me was this moment that the separation occurred and there is nothing else I can do, and I just have to assume that we have free will and we cannot chase after people because like we have to respect their wish. And I think that was the first major like a milestone that I really felt the release on the journey, and it get really I released a lot of pressure and tension, and I got my freedom, so I didn't have to chase after. I didn't feel like I have to fight for the connection anymore, that I was afraid of losing something. I just kind of acknowledged the loss. I was like, okay, it's done. There's nothing else I can do. What else I can do to myself once I accepted the current state? So this breaking out from this illusion and holding on to something that is just not meant to last, that was very freeing, and it clearly they gave me a lot of power to work towards the proper goal, towards just doing my inner work and just looking into myself.
hi, Grande. Thank you for coming in. Talking about of me, the Knights was saying that you need to trust, surrender, and let go it in the journey, following here with Paulina. Your, as she said, your personal power, your personal energies, your personal self-reflection of this. This is one of the ways that you first you learn personally when you get and things get more easier within the journey within yourself because you personally practice it what the journey, the twin flames journey is basically trigger within you, awakening it within you, guiding you, the evolutions that brings you within yourself. And when you begin to do this, you're attracting what you are. And by knowing it this and by applying it this within yourself, that one of the things is get even better from within you. Because finally you actually performing it those energies inside of you. And when you're performing those energies inside of you, they're coming out. And then what it's coming in is the satisfactions of the energies that you are performing. And then your soul is getting in peace, you're getting it in peace, and the journey is getting easier on you. A lot of the people, they put pressure and tensions of on themselves that they have to do so they can be together with the person they are in separations. A lot of the people doing everything of uh, under the sun. They could be just that person can love them. A lot of the people going out chasing and so on, or they even going to the person's house and knocking out in the door and so on, which is not right. You're chasing something. You need to understand that the things that it's in the journey, it happens within themselves naturally without any other intensity. And it's the more energy you actually work it out within the 3D, you performing more within the energies, the more you understand how they work, they really work within you, they're really getting over within you, and now that becomes your standard of living. And this is one of the things that we wanted to give you to you today, guys. If you have anything
Yeah, I
to
want
add.
to talk more about this chasing because it can be you're acting towards specific relationship or connection, but also it shows how you're acting in your other areas of life. So I think when you're able to break this cycle of chasing, um, you're just stop chasing, whatever you have as a needs or as a desires that are not serving you or maybe are putting unnecessary pressure on you. And I'm not talking that you have to get rid of any, goals or dreams, but sometimes we are really kind of blindly like focusing on something very very specific is in a kind of like obsessive state, either if it's maybe it's material or like career wise or anything. I think the twin flame journey is a good lesson for that because you start, instead of acting from this chasing perspective, you start to see how we are supposed to attract those opportunities, attract people to us. So I think this is just an example how we have to shift this perspective, and then it really kind of expands your view how the world is working really, that whatever you're becoming, that's what you will keep attracting. You don't have to chase anything, but you have to kind of build your reality from the opposite way, from this new way of thinking. But also I wanted to maybe comment on this thing that we realized some people were even falling into this trap of feeling guilty or feeling ashamed. That personally, that's something that I was trying to do at the first step. Like I was trying to take my guilt for the separation, for example. I was trying to find when everything kind of failed. I was trying to find a maybe explanation why it happened, and perhaps there was something wrong with me, that I did something wrongly, improperly. So I think that somehow that can cause you a lot of discomfort and put you in this state that you are guilty of whatever happened in your connection. Sometimes there is even lack of this objective way. There is always two people involved in the connection. So I think just maybe a reminder for people who have the tendencies to take over the guilt or trying to find imperfections in themselves, that sometimes things are just not working out. But just to keep in mind that stay objective. Don't try to put all the guilt just on yourself. Don't go this way because it can really it costs a lot of energy, and it kind of shifts you to the wrong direction.
Um, yeah, hi Cece. I'm gonna ask you in just a minute. Um, Talking about this obsessive stuff, talking about the energy management, when you begin to practicing your things, you're practicing really what you know in there. As Paulina said, the more you're chasing in there, and the more it's going to be this. I mean, kind of like a. First of all, you can develop obsessions, but then the guilt of this, that because you chased, because you run, because you maybe did too much, or because of maybe you did. way overboard, you can feel to yourself guilty. One of the things that you're going to have to learn within yourself, number one is don't take things personally from other people. But how about number one thing it is don't take personally within yourself to yourself. You know, you to feel with so shame, guilt, and so on of what you feel. You know, you had the feelings for this person, you got the relationship with this person, you got the energies exchanges with this person, and so on and so on. But if the things didn't work out, you cannot just stay in this state of shame, guilt, or those lower vibrations, because the journey is telling you, hey, look what you learned. Look the love that you're understanding now. Look where you are in this. Just because that person don't value the higher state of love, that doesn't mean that you cannot have it to you. Then the things begin to trigger us at that point to kind of like you getting to that U curve as of growth. That U curve of growth, it's in so many things. You can find that you growth curve into the psychology and philosophy, in the spirituality, in the business, and anywhere. But it's also applying into here, into your twin flames journey. That when you decide to go ahead and take that curve, to take that positions in there, you are actually moving up in your journey, and you free yourself, and the things more get more easier. The more easier it gets, the more you going up. Hey, Diamond B. Hope you and Divino are very well. Glad to see you here. Happy New Year to you, all of you here. Um, and CC. Hi, sweeties. Dio, you recognize a moment you no longer have the desire to be with your so-called twin flame, like you uh,
Outgrew it.
outgrew it. Yeah, you're gonna be outgrew all this. And when you outgrew this, you know what it's actually outgrew it? It's the evolutions of the twin flames journey itself does that. It comes in, it tells you can't be with this. Don't you see it? You can't progress with this. Don't you see it? You can't move forward. Don't you get it? And most of the people, they have a fear of letting go of this. We got it. We both with Paulina, we did that. We recognize this because the divine tells us exactly here you two you're gonna be together. Here you two gonna be doing of this. And the more we practicing together with Paulina right now, we're finding that the journey is actually getting more easier by practicing what we learn through the journey and itself. And this is what is the growth. I mean, the growth is been all the time with us. We understand it. We just didn't did one thing. We didn't apply it into our lives. And there. So that's about for it, because what we're thinking is about as a twin flame is we getting ignited with the peoples and in the twin flames journey. We're getting in there, but what everyone it's failing in this journey as we see it is to apply all the journey, all your learning, all your feelings, all your understandings about life, and we begin to apply it. We not worry about it. Who's gonna think what, when, where, and so on. I mean, this is what we are. So we are what we are.
Yeah, but for me, it was several steps. This outgrowing the whole previous connection. It came, we have a lot of talks about that, and that's the big part. You have to be in a, let's say, your next connection or other connection that you want to engage with. It's not like you can forget this person from the past. Maybe some people, if they want to, let's say, close the door of a twin flame catalyst, let's say, they want to get rid of them, from the memory from heart. And I just kind of realized that that's not the way, that you cannot do that, because you would be denying everything that happened to you in the journey. So I think the only case in this situation is just you have to be openly discussing those things, especially if you're, for example, your partner was also in similar situation, that they got awakened, through this catalytic experience, let's say, or somehow they were involved. They know what you're talking about. But I think with this, it looks like sometimes people may want to see this clarity. How do you know that you got over your twin? And I can speak for myself. I'm curious what Theo will say, but for me, it was not like I just turned it off and I forgot about whatever was in the past. It was rather following the guidance. I was getting my own guidance that clearly the old connection was supposed to be left in the past, not forgotten, because trying to forget was causing me a lot of discomfort, in like guilt, that I try to remove something that was orchestrated. Those kind of situations and meetings that we have with soul connections, they are having their purpose. So if you try to get rid of them, or some people like to call, explain those situations negatively, this is not the proper way, because that's how you're expressing this negative feedback to the universe. Instead of showing the gratitude to your journey, going the other way. So I think that's not the proper thing to do. So overall, I would say it's like a several um, moments, at least for me, how I was kind of letting go this connection more and more, and the more I was just kind of diving in the psychology, and trying to see what is really the healthy relationship and what kind of relationship I want to have. I kind of saw that this previous dynamic that I would have with, let's say, that other person would not work, because I've that was just very unhealthy, because that's what happens when people are not ready. So it's like a lot of work for me was just in diving deep, just learning from this psychological perspective to see really, like in 3D, if you want to manifest those things and build a healthy connection, how much it takes, and lots of universal push too. It's like you learn to see and navigate the journey, and this, at some moment, you will be just maybe putting off this emotional part of your life, and you will start seeing the bigger picture, and in a way you will be able to shut down this emotional needs and see things how they are, and see where the door is closed at certain moment, and you're just given some other opportunity, and you just, all you have to do is kind of go for it, because like you can sense it, like there is the time to do the next step, even though you don't see it, it's not how you imagine.
As the Paulina said, very good points here. You can't forget the experience, you can't forget the learnings. That's what I'm for. But you also have to look at it inside of it. By the way, I want to recognize some people here before I said, Mila, Happy New Year. Tweety, thank you for coming in. Adam, wish you good luck at work. I know that you've been following us along the journey. And Twin Flame, Lightworker, welcome, welcome here. We're going to be looking at the questions up here. Please, guys, don't blow the chat with the questions, waiting for us to answer it, whatever you guys write. So, talking about within me, for it, you need to understand that within the journey is in there. One of the, as Paulina said, one of the doors closed. I will give you the little bit different example when the bridge is burned. Okay, basically one of the oh hmm. Okay, throat chakra clearing here. When the bridge is burned, you need to understand that when the bridge is burned, there is a two separate situations within. Oh, there he is. I can give you some example of bridge. There you go. So here's the bridge. When the bridge is burned, then there's two different things sitting on the side of the bridge. There is no more bridge in there. And the one person stays on the one side of the bridge and the other side continue of something on the other side of the bridge where it goes. And to some of you, that twin flames journey, that's how it's going to be. Okay, for some of you, that's how it's. But looking at in there, looking at the situations within uh, the journey is going to be teaching you and asking you to respond correctly because in the past soul connections, as Paulina said, we both had a similar experience that you understand this journey cannot continue for whatever reason. The reasons there can be so many of them. There is a lot of examples out there of throughout the community that you can look at what works and what not works. But we're talking about here is when do the things gets better. Even if you're after the bridge is burned, after the door is closed in there, you put something in that connection is what you are. You put time, effort, and energy that you group, you work on that uh, relationship, you work on that energy exchanges, you work on everything, you study everything, and you got the benefits with you that you work for it. Yeah, the things maybe didn't work out, the things are closed, the things are shut down. But if you're totally trying to remove it and trying to take it off of yourself, you're actually taking that energy out of you that you did to yourself. This is why you getting the experience that you got from within. Okay, but you are going forward. Some doors can be open. Some things be keeping relationship. Some people can. Some people cannot. Especially if in the other side decide to cut the bridge. The other side slam the door. It says no more. What are you gonna be knocking on that door or trying to repair that bridge that it's unrepairable? Some things is beyond repair. Some things are closed for this. But the evolution is going to be telling you when, what, and where to be within. But when you're applying what you're learning through this bad experience, you're going to be learning. But you need to change to have the good experience. And then when you're applying the good experience, guess what? You attracting what you are. And if you're focused on the bad experience, you're going to be getting the same person because you didn't learn it from yourself. But when you apply the good stuff within you, you're now looking for people. You're attracting. That is a different positions here of this. What I'm gonna give you from personal perspective. All right, CC, why do you call it catalyst? The catalyst is you need to understand that the catalyst it has the purpose just to give you the personal ignition. This is like a the starter of the engine on the car. You go and you click, and the engine is just there you go. That's what the starter is. It's a catalyst of the engine to run. As the people who comes in, they fire it up, and then the aliens takes them away. They don't work anymore. It's the same thing, like in a car. The starter works until the engine starts, and after that, the car is just running on its own without needing the starter to run all the time. So this is a what and why do you call it catalyst? The the catalyst is like a spark. The spark comes in, gives the flame, and then the spark is gone. It is the same thing. You light up the match, you burn it, the match is burned, and that's it. It is there. That's what it's about. The catalyst. Tiffany, one question. Did I make a progress? My TF to me in the New York they wanted to see me after 5 years. I was delighted and at the same time very calm, and I'm still and feel that it doesn't matter if I see him again because I know he's a part of me. Uh, did you make a progress? You're gonna know inside of you if you make the progress. If you did totally opposite of what you did it before, and you feel at peace, that is your progress. Your progress will bring you peace and happiness, and you're gonna be like, yes, I didn't did like this before. I understand it. I expand it. I practice it. What it is, I've changed it, and that's what Tweety will say to you. You know the best within yourself, and if you feel that way, there you go. Here is your answer. You did great with this. What is the next one? Grande. We must leave it everything we have learned. We must be grateful for. You have to live what you learn, but only learn to act upon it and really acting on the energies. There is a one thing you guys gonna learn through the journey is the more you're acting on the energies, the more you perform it to them, the more inner peace will they'll bring it to you. And then it's gonna be much more easier. You're gonna sleep better, you're gonna be living better, you're gonna have your whole body's gonna be even feel better, and you're gonna be practicing those divine energies of calmness inside of you that it's coming in. It's not gonna have this craziness. It's like, oh my God, what the twin flames doing? Oh, my heart is gonna blow up, or you have this energy pounding here at in your stomach, this butterflies, these things in there. You have the divine peace within yourself. This is going to be a huge difference because that removes the stress out of your body, of your energetic system. You're not putting the stress out there. I mean, Darling can share some things also with you about this inner peace because sometimes this inner peace is just like it's peace. I mean, yeah,
I think that's something you cannot expect to be to experience. I think people sometimes are expecting to replay this twin flame ignition state over and over, and that's what they define. That when they have a chance to build something that is from this peace standpoint, when maybe with someone else or with their twin, they may be wondering, why it doesn't feel as in the beginning. So I think that's a good heads up to give to people. I think not to expect this, chemistry and those ups and downs and this intense emotions. The fact that you're not feeling it, as Tweety said, when you're meeting with someone, you recognize the connection. Maybe the person got you started on a journey. There was some ignition state, but I think the fact that you're you're able to recognize it and recognize your peace that you're okay, with having this person in life or not. It's not like a waiting for him, or something like you're just going with your life. I think that's how you make the progress, because the way I was getting it, it's really with all those soul connections. The only thing that, like, the main part is just to really make peace with it. It doesn't really matter what kind of, when this connection was supposed to end, or what stage, or in which maybe sometimes it's even no closure with the connection. But the moment you're able to make a peace with it, you're just regaining everything that was about the connection that you was meant to retrieve from the person or get from this person, because you're just, the peace is just being able to give you this freedom, and that really is, it creates a lot of maybe expansion in you, the way I see it, at least. Like, that's your threshold. It's like whatever the universe brings you as in terms of experience. If anything, you just have to make sure that you're okay. That's a big lesson for you. Are you able to act on it, even if things are not going your way? Even, are you able to acknowledge people's choices? Are you able to acknowledge that sometimes you cannot get what you want? Because really that's how you learn the spiritual lessons, that sometimes you're not getting what you want, and sometimes it can be painful. But I was just sharing that some time ago, like, even if it's painful, that it doesn't mean that you have to avoid it. Like, sometimes those painful experiences are bringing you even higher, because you just prove to yourself that, you take reality as it is, instead of trying to build your own reality and live in this kind of like a fiction or illusion. however you want to call it. You know, something.
I was just wanted to say the same thing. I was just laughing here, but I wanted to kind of like, when I was listening to you, the gift to the people that living your own way, you to leave this part, you to let it go of that, your visions of how your connection should have been, so on. Because if it doesn't happen your way, guess what? You get all these agitations, you get all these aggravations. You working with those energies inside of you, they are just making this um, mixed energies, ups and downs, and so on. And with some of the people, that can affect them on an emotional, psychology, and even physical level without you realizing is that you playing your internal wars inside of you, in your mind, of things that doesn't work. And with some other people, I need to understand in order you to get yourself in this journey, as Paulina said, look at it, the reality is the way it is. One of the main spiritual lessons in everything that is there is whatever is up, it's the same thing is down. It's the Hermetic principle. So if everything is up there on 5D, that it's all good and great and so on and so on, you look at it, what's going on into the 3D, and there is nothing in there. Why? Why there is a difference? There should be no difference. But when you begin to really living within the reality, practicing all those laws in there, and when the 5D reality matches the 3D reality, you understanding the difference between what you wanted, the mind games that you play from within yourself, and what actually the journey was wanted from you. And when you understand this, the journey gets so easy, so light, so powerful within yourself, and there. And this is one of the things is that are you playing those games within yourself? So, because for some of the people, what out there is that the one unit is a truth, and it gets there. The other one, it's still playing the mind games. But when those two gets together, they get attached, right? And then the journey is down. Okay, let's see what's going on. And if the truth is truth, but it is not truth, there you go. It's just disconnects in there. And for some of you, is going to be learning the hard lessons in there for it. All right, Tiffany wrote something. We saw each other after 5 years, and we spent 4 hours together, being very open to each other, and we haven't been apart, but was different without intense
Yeah.
love, love emotion, which we can,
And we felt.
which within which I felt, or
Mhm.
okay, during the process. Yeah, there's gonna be some internal peace. As I said, when you have connection with someone, be at peace. You're attracting that person with your peace inside of it, and you bring them close to home to look at it within themselves. If they don't have the peace within, they will bring that internal war toward you because they cannot fix the war within themselves. So whatever the war is within them, they bring it towards this, and then they point out, "Oh, that was your problem. That was your situation. That was your thing. You did that, and then so on and so on. The worst thing is you made me do it." When people say you made me do it, you did things. You're responsible for your actions. Nobody made you do it. But talking on about with this, I'm so happy for you, Tiffany, that you're sharing with us about this inner peace during the process, because that is one of the greatest achievement you can have is that peace of soul within yourself, but then within the partner, you, your family. Mhm.
Yeah, I wanted to clarify one thing because I think that was question probably to me, but you answered. But it was from CC about this why I called twin flame as a catalyst and what is how I see those catalytic experience. And I just realized that for some people it may be just easier not to use the label as a twin flame itself because for whatever reason we have a hard time letting go of this first twin flame connection that was the strongest, that was the closest vibrational match, that we are just living into these illusions that that will be the person that will continue our journey, so I don't know, I find it just easier once you're able to recognize or just at least take it into account that it might have been your twin flame catalyst. I know because I didn't want to believe in it. It was kind of keeping me stuck because I wanted to believe in a story that that's gonna be my twin flame, that's gonna be coming back to me after separate and all this. I think we all want this, and our mind has troubles accepting that maybe that's not your case. Maybe that's you're gonna have to continue your whole journey, your whole life, maybe without this person. And the question is, are you able to acknowledge that? Are you able to move with your journey no matter what? So that's why, for whatever reason, not to put people in this state that they will be waiting for their twin flame, to get back to them, and just twin flame is only one. We were talking that twin flame is more like experience and is your energetic match, but you can have many of them. We talked about it as well. But with the catalyst, I'm just referring to this very intense connection that we just have troubles to maybe step back from because it's just so intense, and it's kind of like your soul intuitively knows that that's the closest match you could ever possibly have with a person. But at the same time, it's just I don't want people to get stuck on this intense experience because as beautiful it is, sometimes just you cannot get what you would love to have. And it's just very beautiful lesson to learn this detachment, and just to trust, okay, that's just not your case. You have some other things to do here. You have some other people to meet on your way. You have some other beautiful connection to experience. So I always find those definitions confusing, and I don't like those twin flames and false twin flames and catalytic twin flames. But somehow, when we are explaining those things, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible. But the more definitions that I try to include, it just gets tricky. But hopefully it clarifies a bit.
Yeah, with the definitions in there, especially because of a lot of informations, a lot of things, a lot of some of the explanations out there are too much personalized in there, and it's implied that how you um, translated those labels, what did they mean for you in there? And when you begin to understand that the journey is teaching you that twin flame is actually your personal journey with yourself, what then you begin to understand it was about you, not as a relationship. You to learn what the proper relationship is by experiencing this spiritual connection, similarity like into the karmic, like explanations of the karmic relation, 3D relationships in there. Because if you have not learned from the karmic relationship, you have to learn it some other way. So you get this experience within a spiritual soul connections, and then you're getting into this proper adjustments in there that lead you to the next stage of evolutions within personally within your relationship with yourself, but then it's the relationship with others, and that actually how you change the society. You bring the new paradigm here on Earth. All right, Grande wrote. I think the most people have a romantic dream about TF. Get to know yourself first and love yourself. Exactly. I mean, the focus of I ask so many people when I do the consultations, and so many people, and I ask them, "What are you going to do when you have your 25? What do you need them for?" And let me tell you, that most of the questions, which is they were kind of like a disturb to me, at some point is, well, I want he to provide for me. I want him to be for me. I want to build the family with him. I want to do so on and so on. I it was I want. Where there was supposed to be the answer is like, I want to learn what love is. I want to experience and perform that love and help the world to change what this is. And most of the people didn't say that. They still, hanging out there. They want the intimacy, the physical connections. They want this and so on. Instead of the inner peace that is gonna clarify everything within the person's system, you're gonna get purified, and after you get purified, then you're gonna have clear intimacy connection. But they look at it this that the first they have to be intimate because of the famous intimacy between twin flames and so on. But yeah, this is why you have to know yourself. And when you go through the changes, you need to understand you need to have the patience. And one thing with the patience, guys, is sharing where you are in your journey with your partner because they're sharing where they are in the journey with you, and you both have learned the patience. To know that the power of the patient is incredible, incredible, interesting, high level of spirituality in that side, the patience. So, hi Erika, thank you for coming. Tiffany, it's possible, as you said before, that person which I dated before passed to me those unresolved problems which he couldn't resolve by himself because I felt very drained by this connection. The connection supposed to be bring you more within yourself. It doesn't feel drained and it doesn't feel intense. The connection, the proper connection, feels balance, proper balance in there. Here I am talking about some different person, not TF. Um, so if that was not your TF, Tweety, in there, you're understanding that that shows you what is not the right way. If you feel drained, if you feel out of balance, if you feel like even this intense connection is like this obsessions that comes in towards that person, or you begin to have this agitation. Why is this is not working? We were supposed to do this. We were supposed to do that. That is it, the teaching of these connections, because those connections they're coming to you to show you what is the wrong way, so you can learn what the right way is. Because there is no wrong and right, but it's all about you to have a balance, balance between you, but also balance between your partner. So yeah,
Oh, I wanted to add maybe
go ahead.
that it's very interesting once just to observe these connections that they are coming to you, especially after the separation when it happened. If you're ready to do your work, like you will notice that people will be approaching you, but they may be very, very similar um, in some parts to your original twin flame connection. That you will see if you're a good observer, or you can train it, but if you try to analyze those people who will be coming to you, you will start seeing that they are bringing up the same issues, and they're trying to teach you the same lessons that were not learned from the TF connection. So with this one, like it's about detachment. It's also about setting healthy boundaries, but it's just very interesting when you get if you're able to get into this observer mode and like detach a little bit from the journey in a way to really observe what kind of people are getting attracted to you, because you can see and you can tell a lot by what kind of people you're attracting throughout your journey. If you start seeing that you're starting to attract more stable people or people who are able just to have these unconditional connections without draining you, without having too much demands from you, or with just healthy exchange, what we all know what kind of equal relationship look like, or equal connection look like, when both people are interested and both are giving and receiving. So observing just what happens with your connections as you progress on the journey are a very good indicator, I think, of how much you've grown, how much you've learned to set the boundaries, how much you value yourself and your energy, that you won't allow people to drain you. So I just wanted to add.
Isn't she amazing? That is bringing me to what she was talking about. That when she's talking about that the people who's coming to you, they're gonna be putting you in the same situations. You are put in the same situation as the previous soul connections. There was the difference here between me and her was one thing about that we knew on the previous connection what is not working. We know how to behave. We practice it. And since we practice it, we went through the same things in a different level. We went this through uh, energetic level, through the vision levels, to the 5D levels, and so on and so on. Then we practice it into the 3D. Okay, but that's what it is about. The journey gets easier because we learn it to practice it. This is what is so our connection is in peace. We try to figure this out and so on until we were like, duh, we're practicing, but we learn it. We basically do. And the more and more we practice it, the more better it gets, the more easier it gets. It doesn't have the stress, guys. Because living as a twin flame is not easy, with all the energies, with all this intensified energies and so on. But when I get into this status, we try to explain it to you guys as best as possible, because the human language is on kind of like a limited about everything, the whole process. But trying to translate it in a way for. And I remember that back in the days, we're talking about like what, a year ago or so on. Uh, there was the things that we learned not to be attached so much with each other. It was a time that the first time that we connected, we were like, I'm not for it. But the universe, the evolution itself, that represents that unifications in there, it's got much more purpose. It's called expansion, guys, as she said. The expansion from within you, within your processing, within your learning. I can tell you that that expansions can bring incredible values of informations within you. You might know things that they can be benefiting the world more than you can imagine. You're gonna be wondering, how do you know that? That it comes in with your expansion, that you understanding things more than other people. But that's how it goes. Hi, Donna. Thank you for coming in. So, yeah, our intentions and everything that terminates our experience and expectations. Expectations are something that can really put you on a really deep hole inside of your journey. And that hole, you keep digging it, you keep digging it. The more expectations you have, the more deep it goes. Until you understand that when you're down to the reach out to the bottom, you're like, okay, now I'm in the hole. Now what I need to do? I need to create the steps to get myself out of that hole. And you try getting in there right now. You step it up for it because you're removing those expectations out of you. But very good one, Grande. Very good. I think that's if you guys have some any more questions or any topic ideas, let us know for it. And we're gonna be coming in and popping up here for it. But look at inside here. Everything there. As I want to finish this, it is about one thing. When you practice what you want in your journey, you know that things works in your system, general system, energy system, brain system, and so on, is going to be really working within the reality is the way it is. And then everything's going to be full by itself, by default, in its place. You don't have to change. You don't have to go uh, do some this manipulations for manifestations and so on and so on. Things manifest itself, but you're at peace. And that peace you deserve in it because of the extended journey that you've been going through. You owe that first of all to yourself, then you owe it to your partner. Then you understand the purpose of what you've been going through in there. So, all right, Tiffany, thank you. Yes, that is correct. This previous connections started with a lot of sympathy feelings, very similar to as a twin flame, but from both sides, very controlling. You can control and steer the connections in there, 3D. We did not want to expose feelings to each other because we were both divorced. Um, Take a look with an. It doesn't matter what the situations are. Some of the people living in fake marriages for a very long time, and I know people who are living in the fake marriages in there, and I've seen it because I've been living in there. Because if you're living with a person who is one-sided, or a person who you don't have this internal peace and understanding from each other, uh, and so on in there, or the thing is only one-sided, as Paulina said, it has to have equally give and take. If there is no equality of the give and take, then there is a problems, and that's going to create the duality within itself, and then the whole connections lose its purpose in there. So this is what I would say about that. He was recently, both recently divorced. Yeah, you need to understand that one thing, keep in mind that after you are breaking in a relationship, you are divorcing, or however you are in separations and so on, or the relationship ended, take your time to grieve. Your grieving period will show you the things inside of you. And then when that grieving period ends, you're gonna get your happiness back in a whole another clear state of mind with in you guys. Just a healthy psychological reminder about this. All right, you guys, do you have anything still?
Yeah, maybe I want to just quickly comment about this power of intentions because I think this is That's the main goal. No matter how the journey unfolds, like if you put the intention just to be able to connect with people on a proper level, from this truthful standpoint, I think it doesn't really matter like which person you're gonna be connecting to, because like you know that you can just work it through. So I think if anything, that's might be missing sometimes with people, that they don't set the right intentions. They will be setting the intentions, oh, I want to improve myself because I want to get back to my twin, let's say, or they just want to have specific relationship, or they want to get married, or whatever people put as their intentions, instead of trying to put the intentions like, okay, I want to have a clear, truthful connection because I want to be happy, I want to be free in a relationship, just to put this more general instead of putting very specific, even requirements sometimes. My intention is to have a partner like this or that, or to provide for me. If you're that's by setting those intentions, you're sending out the vibe to the universe. So I think just maybe do a little bit checkup, um, to make sure that they just match this kind of like a um, higher, not vision, but
Purpose.
higher purpose. And also, just to whatever you wish for yourself, just to keep in mind your happiness, not your agenda, not your sometimes we just don't see the way they are supposed to work for us. Sometimes we as humans, we are missing this bigger picture. But if your intention is clear in a way that you wish all the best for you because you know you deserve it, that's a proper intention you can set for yourself, because that's your intuition will be guiding you towards that. Because sometimes we don't even know what kind of changes are needed. But overall, if anything, all these intentions I was wishing for myself, I was handled. I attracted that because I was working towards that, but the intention was there. But at the same time, the intention was not to get that person back, how I can manifest this person back to my life. I knew what I need because throughout the process, I kind of learned about myself, and I was wishing myself the best. So at the same time, I knew what can I accept, what I'm striving for. So just maybe a reminder, not to take that limited view, because we just don't know everything. But if anything, you have to make sure that you know that you deserve those positive changes in your life, and just getting anything you need. um,
Beautiful. Um, just getting a message out from above for you guys, because I heard it that like, what is it? Leading the intuition, where the downloads are coming from. The need of the evolution is the evolution is a process that comes in. It's set and it knows where the stage of you are and what you need to evolve. The evolution is going to bring you the informations out from the universe into you, into a void space that you need to expand within that void space within yourself. The evolution is going to be talking to your intuition. But if you have your set intentions, you don't hear it, what the evolution's telling you, and then begins doubting our thoughts. But if you're practicing the spirituality in there, okay, as a Paulina said, I'm not working on it, but not to take that specific person, but me to become the person, because that's what the evolutions want you. You to become the person, you to become without energies in there. And then your intuitions comes in because the energy of the evolution is coming into you. That energy of evolution turns into your intuition. Intuition is turning this to your knowledge. You apply that knowledge. Now that energy that it comes to you, the pressure of that energy, the pressure of these changes that comes to you is performed. Now you're at peace. You got the thing done. And this is why we're trying to tell you guys, to help you. And some of you out there who are working so hard on yourself, you're working towards having a great partnership with the person, yourself, and to help better out there for the society. Hopefully, this video really help you out, guys. Okay, so let's see, Erica. I'm practicing being in the present. I can bring myself back to me. I can catch my thoughts and focus on myself. I'm happy all day. I like that shift. Great, that's what it is. Truly great energy in there about the shift. Tiffany, yes, that is correct. Thank you, Paulina.
You're welcome.
And grounded to be present in the present and fully aware of. Exactly. That's what it is it, guys. Okay. And you, yes, we must navigate with the higher self and stillness. I gotta be not only stillness, Tiffany. In there, you have to be have this continuous improvement in there, but you also have to be flexible, or what we are calling liquid. You to be able to transform and change yourself, okay, of what you need to go to. The liquid takes the form of the space it is, and you need to understand you're going to become that liquid around and within you. And yes, it's a beautiful, beautiful journey, guys. All right. So let's share the love and the light here. We appreciate your questions, your comments. If you have anything that you want us to discuss, please put it in the comments below, and we'll take some time to answer for you guys. Again, wishing you a happy new year. Hopefully, this video will help you out in the new year to get better journey to your own self, guys.
Yeah, thank you everyone for sharing, for asking, and all
Yeah.
the best in this new chapter of 2024.
And
Good
here's
things are
some gifts
coming.
for you. Just don't forget to unwrap them. Good luck, guys.